Anyway, have a listen to this. Just gone 3:30.
The skies were blue when I met you, Sally. You were my gal, my little pal, so true. You came along, made life a song, Sally. If I lost you, I wonder what I'd do.
2, 3, 4.
Sally, Sally, don't ever wander away from the alley.
If you're a fan of Rochdale's most popular performer, Gracie Fields, from next week you'll be able to follow a trail through Greater Manchester, marking key locations in her life. So we're going to talk about Gracie Fields now, and I'm going to ask my guest, who is a Gracie Fields expert, Sebastian Lassandro, if you knew who that was actually singing there, Sebastian.
That was Jane Horrocks.
Oh, you knew it. It was
of course, yeah.
Well done. It was Jane Horrocks in a BBC 4 drama. I think it's 5 or 6 years old now, but of course Jane herself is from that part of the world, isn't she?
Yeah, I think she's from Rochdale, actually, yeah, so quite close by to Rochdale.
Yeah, so was she the Madonna of a day then, Gracie?
That's a quote that I've heard bandied around quite a few times, and I think people forget today just how big Gracie was in the 1930s. She was the highest paid film star in the world. She was the highest paid concert artist, radio artist. So I think she could be quite comparable to Madonna, but not quite as raunchy, shall we say. She liked homely things. She liked Rochdale and cups of tea.
Yeah, of course. And it's hard to imagine the scale of the audience that would be enjoying Gracie Fields' work without the technology that we have today, of course.
Well, exactly, yeah. You made the joke about Mike and Bernie Winters and that nobody under 25 would remember them. Well, I'm 24 and I'm the president of the Gracie Field Appreciation Society, so it does kind of balance out like that.
What has she actually done for the town of Rochdale, do you think, over the years?
Well, although Gracie moved away from Rochdale in the early 30s and spent most of her adult life away from Rochdale, like I say, from the early 30s she used to come back to the town to do charity weeks and raise money for the town. She provided the football kits for the Rochdale Hornets when they couldn't afford to buy their own kits. She paid for them to go to different matches and their fairs. And for the people of Rochdale, I think Gracie symbolised everything that was good in the world. In the 1930s, you have to remember that we had the Depression and the bleak days, and Gracie sang about the blue skies that people could smile about and things like that. But I think it was her charity work, her philanthropy, that Gracie was best remembered for.
Yeah, such as, I know you mentioned a couple of them there, but, did she, on the quiet, really help the infrastructure of the town, for example?
Well, I certainly think she popularised the town in terms of, in the 30s, people and 40s, you say Rochdale, and they associate Rochdale with Gracie Fields, and I'm sure that tourism was big in Rochdale because of that, and hopefully with the plaque trail that we're going to unveil, it's going to be finalised next week, and also the statue in September, later in the month, I think hopefully that people will come back to Rochdale to remember Gracie and to see the tributes that have been paid to her, which I think are long overdue, but I think they're very excellent.
Well, I'm a little surprised, actually, to hear you say the long overdue, because, the plaques that you're going to tell us about, or the trail itself that you'll talk about in more detail, I hope, in a sec, may be new, but I don't think anybody's ever underestimated the pulling power of Gracie Fields in terms of her connection with the North West and Rochdale in particular.
Oh, no, I agree with that, but when you think of the Second World War, you think of Anne Shelton and Vera Lynn, and because of the issues that Gracie had in the Second World War by marrying an Italian and moving to America, then she kind of fell off the radar a little bit. And if you asked a layman in the street now, can you name a Vera Lynn song? I'm sure they'll be able to say The White Cliffs of Dover or We'll Meet Again. But Gracie might be a little bit trickier, and I think that's because in the 36 years since she died, that she hasn't been quite remembered as she should have been. I know she opened a theatre in Rochdale in 1979, which she opened in her name, but after that, it's kind of, like you say, fallen off the radar a little bit.
Yeah.
And
who could forget Walter, lead me to the altar.
Well, Grace always used to say that she wanted to drown Walter and Sally with an aspidistra on top because she had enough of them. So there we go.
That was one of her comic songs, and when she delivered it, I know because I've seen the clips, she would come on stage not dressed as a glamorous superstar, but in a dowdy old kind of washerwoman's outfit, and it wasn't a parody, but it was a comedy song, wasn't it? That particular
absolutely.
one. Yeah.
yeah.
So how did you get involved if you're such a young fella?
I first heard Gracie about 10 years ago when I was doing a project on the Second World War at high school. And like I said, my friends were listening to Vera Lynn and Anne Shelton, and I thought, yeah, they're very nice. But on this compilation CD of war songs that I had, Gracie Fields was singing track 1, The Ave Maria, and I think track 12, Sing As We Go. And I thought, this can't be the same woman. This voice is incomparable. They're nothing like each other. They're serious in the comedy. It doesn't go well. And I looked into it and I thought, wow, this woman was quite extraordinary. I'm from Hyde, which is about 11 miles from Rochdale. And I thought this is quite a nice connection. I looked into her and researched her, and it kind of snowballed uncontrollably from there.
Yeah, so tell us specifically now what you are actually launching for us.
Okay, so since January, every month, Rochdale Council have unveiled a purple plaque to form a heritage trail around the town of Rochdale at key locations where Gracie had some influence. Either she performed there, she lived there, or she had some connection with the building. And the final plaque is going to be unveiled this coming week. And then in a fortnight's time, we're going to have a special Gracie Fields weekend. And part of that weekend will be this heritage trail, the first purple plaque heritage trail in the world. And it's all about Gracie, key locations for Gracie. And then a statue unveiled outside the town hall, designed by Sean Hedges Quinn. A full life-size statue of our Gracie in the town that she loves so much. And also we've got events like a dinner dance at the town hall on Friday the 16th of September, and other various activities throughout the Saturday the 17th, different children's activities, choirs, and a good celebration of remembering Gracie.
So you're the chair and founder, as you said, of the Gracie Fields Appreciation Society. Have you single-handedly led the charge in this respect?
Not single-handedly, but I've been a driving force with it. I've had members of the Rochdale Rotary Club with me, and Councillor Janet Emsley and Richard Farnell have been big pushers of this movement. And together we've worked as a team to make sure that all the right locations were picked, that the statue looks as we wanted it to, etc. And I think she looks stunning. I've seen her, one of the few people that have seen her, and I was gobsmacked.
Well, he's a great
staring into Gracie Fields. And
yeah, he is
if I'm
a great
happy,
sculptor.
then I'm sure everybody else will be.
He's a great sculptor. Okay, I've got to let you go in a sec, but you glossed over this.
Yep.
The world's first purple plaque trail.
That's right. Yeah,
the world's first.
I believe so. That's so I'm told. Yeah, I know. We wanted a plaque trail to stand out, so we thought the blue plaques, the purple, green plaques that mark locations. But one of Gracie's favourite colours was purple, and one of the Rochdale town's colours was purple. So we thought, well, why not stick to one uniform colour? So all these 8 plaques around the town, ranging from like the town hall to the theatres to, like I say, homes where Gracie had, they're all in purple with Gracie's signature in gold on them.
Well
they
done.
look quite smart.
Sadly, the Gracie Fields Theatre, in which I've performed many times. In fact, I was Cuddles in Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs in 1990. I'll have you know.
No, you weren't.
Oh, yes, I was. It's inside. Is it Alder Hill High School?
That's right,
It's
yeah.
not like a traditional theatre. It's a great place to perform,
Yeah.
don't get me wrong, but it's not a traditional theatre. It's a bit of a shame.
Yeah, it's more school hallish than
Yeah, it
the
is,
Senior
yeah.
March Theatre, yeah.
So, listen, just once more,
Sure.
when and where this final purple plaque?
Okay, the final purple plaque is being unveiled this week outside Rochdale Town Hall, and that culminates the purple plaque trail. There's 8 plaques around Rochdale with little maps and things that people can look at and find out all the history and the information of Gracie and the significance of those locations. Then on the 16th of September, we've got a dinner dance at Rochdale Town Hall, with family events on the 17th of September at Touchstones, the museum in Rochdale, and finally the unveiling of the Gracie Fields statue on the 18th of September.
Okay, excellent. Sebastian Lassandro, Chair, founder of the Gracie Fields Appreciation Society, and it's great when you hear such enthusiasm in one person who then generates all that throughout a number of others.